Hi there, and welcome to a Race Advisor walkthrough review. And today I want to take a look at the Fantastic 8 tipping service. This is a tipping service managed by Betfair, and we've been seeing some quite amazing results. Now, we've been proofing them for a little while. You can see here I've got it to all time, and we've been proofing them. Let me just hit submit there. We've been proofing them since the 5th of March 2015. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of these results and we'll take a look at how this service has actually been performing. So I like to start by using SP, and I like to start with the last 30 days. Now, very seldom do I expect a service to make profits to SPs, particularly long term, because there are very, very few tipping services that make a profit to SP, but it gives us an idea of where we stand. And if a service can make break even to SP, or even a slight loss on return on investment by minus 1, 2, 3%, then that means normally it's actually very easy to make a profit on them if you actually go looking for the odds using a service like Odds Checker or similar. So over the last 30 days, let's take a quick look here. We can see that it's been pretty much even, except for this big win here on the 1st of July. It's come down the 1st of July. Here we go. And there was a winner at odds of 26, so a profit of 25, which accounts for this big jump in profit. So it would have made a small loss except for that, but let's go back quarterly and see where we're at. Take note as well that at the moment I'm looking at flat stakes. I always again like to start by looking at flat stakes so we know where we're at. So the quarterly profit to SP is actually a profit, which is quite impressive, with an 8% return on SP over the last 3 months. And looking at our chart here, we can see from May the 7th, we had a bit of a decline here from the 16th, a bit of a downswing. I would expect to see this downswing evened out when we start looking at advised odds or even best odds. But since June the 16th, actually, of course, there's been ups and downs, but it's been pretty consistent, this rise here. There's quite a high quantity of bets, 392 over the last quarter, so that's 3 months or 90 days. So we're looking at over 100 bets a month, probably more like 130 bets a month. And 130 bets a month is going to come down to around about 4 bets a day, 4 selections a day. So there's a decent quantity. It's not a huge amount, but it's a good number. It's a good number, so there's some action to be happening. Okay, let's just keep going and see bi-yearly. Well, we've only been proofing them since March, so I'm just going to go straight now to all time. See where we stand at all time for SP. And we can see that overall, it was a bit of a downswing when we started proofing them to SP. Came up, came down, came up, and they've ended up pretty much break even. Now this gives me a very good indication that this service, we should be able to make profits with it. And obviously I've had a quick look already, and that's pretty much the case. Return on investment to SP is 0. We're pretty much break even, minus 0.33 units since the 5th of March. So it's pretty much break even, which means that we should be able to make some really, really good profits. We could take a look at Betfair SP. Generally speaking, again, not many services will make a profit to Betfair SP. I'll keep it on all time for the moment so we can see where we're at. But already at Betfair SP, we can see that these downswings have been evened out. And take a look at this graph here. You can see these downswings, the one that we were talking about, and then there's another one here. But look at how just getting slightly better odds, Betfair SP, has evened those downswings out. And you can see the fluctuation and the variance is significantly higher at SP than it is at Betfair SP. Now, again, a 9% return on investment, I mean, to be honest, that's pretty healthy. I mean, that's better than anything you'll get at the moment in a bank. And a 9% return is on every bet you place, of course. So for every pound you bet, you can expect to get £1.9 back. Or for every £100 you bet, you can expect to get £109 back. So we can see that that evens it out quite nicely. But here's what we're really interested in, is the advised odds. And when our proofers enter the selections, we make sure that advised odds are available. And so we know that the advised odds are available for this service at the time the bets are sent out. And you can see immediately, it's going to take a moment to load, but the downswing has been really smoothed over now that we're looking for to get the best odds available. And the profit has jumped up to 213 units. And I mean, as I say, this is since the 5th of March. So that's really quite impressive. That's 5 months, 213 units profit, and a very strong 36% return on investment. And again, we can see there's a bit of a flat period, but generally speaking, it follows a nice upward curve. There are downswings, as we would always expect. And now what I would just like to have a quick look at before we move on is BOG, or BOG, Best Odds Guarantees. How's this service performed if you bet with a bookmaker at the advised odds but place your bet to best odds guaranteed, which means that if the horse goes off at a higher SP than the odds you took when you placed your bet, then they'll pay out at the higher odds. So let's just see what happens here. And we can see actually there's not a huge difference. 239. Return on investment goes up slightly. You should always be placing your bets at BOG if you can. It's a no-brainer. It doesn't take any extra time. If the bookmaker is offering BOG, place it. But we can see here that when the selections are going out, they're going out at a time when they're getting pretty good odds anyway. Okay, so now where we're at. Well, what I want to do now is I want to go through this. Let's take a look at advised odds, and let's take a look monthly, because it's important to see the flat stakes again, what we can expect to get each month. How many months make a profit, how many don't. So we can see here, the first month, obviously we started on the 5th of March, not the very beginning of the month, but a nice return on investment and a nice profit. Let's move on to April and see where we're at there. Okay, so April was a losing month, but we didn't really lose much. We just lost a unit profit. Obviously, you still have the fee for the service to pay even on losing months. But as you probably know, if you've seen any of my videos or read much on the Race Advisor, then you'll know that I always recommend that you join a service for a minimum of 3 months and ideally 6 or longer, because of course there will be downswings. And a downswing of a month, you know, that is normal with the service and with selections and with betting. So when you choose a service you want to join, you should choose that service carefully and be prepared to stick with them for a long enough period of time for the variance to level out. So we're going to move on to May, and we can see May made a great profit, just over 70 units, just under 71 units, and a phenomenal 51% return on investment. We can see here that May the 10th was a big day, and having a look on May the 10th, this is why. So what we're starting to see is that a lot of these profits are coming from outsiders. So we're kind of hovering around even. In fact, let's just go back to March again and take a quick look at March and see where the profits are coming from there. And we can see here again we had the 19th of March and the 21st of March. Let's just come down and take a look at some of these results. So here we go. 19th of March we had a 16-1 winner. And 20th of March, where are we? The 21st of March we had a 20-1 winner. So what we're starting to see here is a pattern where the profits from this service are coming from the outsiders. It's kind of staying even, level, and waiting to hit that outsider to make the really big profits. And again, in June, 96 units profit. And if we take a look here, June the 17th, we saw a big jump. So let's come down and have another look. And here we go, is a 40-1 winner. And so that continues to confirm our theory of how this service is making its profits. It's finding enough selections and keeping steady until it hits that big winner. A smaller profit so far in July. There's still a few days left, obviously. I've got about a week or just over a week left, so plenty of time for that to change. We can see here on the 7th of July, it was a little bit of a jump, 14-1 winner there. And then we've had a number of losses and we've picked up, but we're still sitting in a small profit for the month. And if it hits another outsider this month, then obviously that's going to jump up significantly. And if it doesn't, well, we probably actually will still come out with even a small profit or break even on the month. So far in 5 months, there's only been one losing month, and that was to flat stakes, advised odds, and that was a very small loss of about a unit, so nothing really to worry about there. We ascertained that this service makes its profits by having a number of bets, around 4 bets a day. It's trying to get outsiders, so there's some small wins that come in to keep a nice level, keep it fluid, and then our profits come when we hit the big outsider. Okay, so let's dig in a little bit further. Now I'm going to go back to all time here. So let's just sit down here and see. We've got 213 units profit. Now let's see what happens to advised stakes. Now with advised stakes, we've got to be a bit careful. Obviously this profit is going to jump because the stakes are going to be higher, but what we want to look at is the return on investment figure here. Is that going to go up or down? Quite often with tipping services, the return on investment goes down, and you can see that's exactly what it's done here. It's gone down, not by a huge amount, to be honest, only by 2%, and that is actually quite good. I would consider that quite good. But more importantly, the graph, we can see this graph here. Ignore the numbers down the side, the fact that it's 853 units profit. I mean, we can see down here that the profit, most of these bets are now 5 units. You can see here we're losing 5. There's a couple of 3 unit bets in here as well, but the majority of these bets are going to be 5 units. And that's confirmed. If you look at the graph, just look at the line of the graph. I'll go back to flat stakes, and you'll see that this line has barely changed. So actually the staking here isn't making much of a difference, and you're as well off flat stake betting as you would be following advised stakes. So for me, I'd be flat stake betting this service. It's looking to be a strong service, but let's see if we can make it even more profitable. And to do that, we're just going to take a look at some of the bet types. So let's take a look at back bets first. So 213 units profit. Now, okay, I mean, instantly we've seen that most of the bets are back bets, and they have made 211 units profit. There's obviously, this is a back betting service. Let's have a quick look to see where the other 3 units came from. There have been no place bets. An each way bet, 1 each way bet. So I mean, it doesn't really give us. There won't have been any doubles. There probably would have been an exotic, but there's not enough to seriously make it worth us investigating. So this is a primarily back service. It's making good profits. It's made a profit every single month we've been proofing it, except one so far. It's pretty much been break even at SP, which has shown us that if we just look for the odds, we can get a good profit. The advised odds that come out has made us 213 units profit in the last 5 months at a return of investment of 36%, which is excellent. You can make a profit to Betfair SP. Obviously, it will be lower than advised odds, so you're better off using Odds Checker when the selections come out. It's been consistent, and we've now had nearly 600 bets, over 100 wins. I like to have 100 wins before making a decision on a service, and this looks to be a good service if you like back betting, around 4 bets a day, and you're happy to just kind of stay even while you wait for those big outsiders to come in. And there have been some really big outsider wins with this service. So all in all, this looks to be a strong service. It looks to be one that if you're looking for a tipster at the moment, this is likely to be one of the best out there. It's currently performing excellently, and if you want to get more information or find out how to join, then you just need to click click the button below this video and to go through to their website. Thank you very much for watching this walkthrough review of the Fantastic 8's service. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any comments, if you've got any questions, please let me know. If you want to, you can find all their proofing on our proofing pages. We will be continuing to proof this service. You can download their results by clicking the download results button from our proofing if you want to take a look at them yourself or apply your own staking plans. And I'll be back soon with another video. Goodbye for now.